What's going on, guys? It's Brent with the FSA podcast, where we teach online health coaches how to sell at a higher rate and scale their business with more profit. Okay, it's Monday morning and I've got a hot take. Okay, every coach that I talk to, every coach, every person claims that if they had more leads, life would be perfect. They'd be retired on a beach, working from a laptop in the sand. Life's just amazing. The heavens have parted ways, the sun's shining down. Like, that's everything they need, all wrapped up the concept of having more leads. And I don't necessarily agree. I don't agree at all. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through what I think actually has to happen first for you to build that freedom lifestyle, for you to have all the things that I mentioned above. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to flood your calendar with tons and tons of sales calls. But first, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, join our family here at C4F if you're interested in growing your online coaching business with more profit and more efficiency. Every single week, I drop a new video with insight on how to scale your business anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000 per year with teams of 5 or less. That's the beauty of it. Okay, we like simplicity here. So we do this through sales efficiency, pipeline management, retaining high profit margins. Okay, I said what I said. More volume. I don't think it's going to fix your problems. I think if your systems right now are not as efficient as they could be, then more volume is only going to exploit those inefficiencies. Okay, so if your show rates, by the way, as a precursor to this, if you don't know the data that I'm asking right now, that is a dead giveaway that you're not ready for more volume. Okay, so are your show rates? Ask yourself, are your show rates between 60 to 70% plus organically, assuming that you're not running ads if you're looking for more leads? If you are running ads, then you need to be talking to your media buyer, or you need to come over to our media buyer so that you can get as many leads as you want just by turning a dial. But I'm assuming that if you're listening to this and you're wanting more leads, that it's primarily organic. Okay, so are your show rates 60 to 70% plus? If they are not, that is a red flag, because it shows that your nurturing process, your DM process, something's broken in there that's not quite right, where people don't really want to show up to a call with you. Okay, and adding more volume to that is only going to cause that to decrease significantly, because you're adding more to a failing system. Okay, is your close rate, is it above 60%? Now, I know I ask so many people this, and everyone closes at 90%. Everyone, until they come work with us, and then we see the data. It's never 90% ever. It's never once been 80 or 90%. Once they actually track the data and we determine how many people they're actually offering to, it's usually around that 40, maybe 50% if they're pretty good. We've had some come in at 60, but it's more of a rarity. So are you closing at above 60%? If you're not, you're going to close less and less the more calls that you actually have, because you're going to feel more burnout. Less people are going to show up. You're going to feel frustrated. You're going to get more no's, seemingly, right? Even if you're closing at the same percentage, 60% of 5 calls and 60% of 30 calls, you're going to feel like everyone's telling you no, even though it's the same percent, right? So burnout can happen much quicker if you're not efficient in your sales process. Okay, this is going to cause more stress. With more calls, you're going to get more objections. And maybe the most important thing, how are your follow-ups? You should be re-engaging 25 to 50 previous conversations per day. People think I'm crazy, but this is what our team does every single day. It's what a lot of our clients do when they come and they develop our systems. 25 to 50 of your messages that you send out per day should be re-engaging existing conversations that were already being had. Okay, and that should include people that you've had on sales calls, people that you've had booked for triages that maybe it wasn't a great fit, or maybe you just had great conversations with. 25 to 50 of your conversations each day should be previous engagements. Okay, and the truth is, if you're not 100% confident in your process and your systems, more volume is only going to exploit all of those weaknesses. That's how things break, and that's how burnout happens. Okay, it causes more pressure on you as a business owner, because now you have everything you thought you wanted and it's not producing the outcome that you thought it would produce, which is a very bad feeling as a business owner. And maybe the worst part, customers, your existing clients, now that you're so stressed on these parts of the business, they start to feel unhappy. Maybe they feel a lack of attention. Maybe prospects feel that pressure from you because you are projecting it back onto them. So I'm here to tell you guys, volume doesn't fix everything. So if you think, oh, I'm only a few calls away, or I just need a little bit more volume, maybe, but there's a good chance that you could be closing the revenue that you want with the amount of calls that you're already getting. So here's what I recommend doing instead if you want a long-term profitable business with minimal stress, and ideally we break less things if you have the systems in place already. Okay, so first things first, do a productivity audit. Okay, track all your numbers for outreach, sales, everything for 1 week. If you're not tracking KPIs for your outreach 5 days per week, this has to be addressed first and foremost. Okay. So you need to be tracking your outreach, just like progressive overload. It might feel like one of those, you might not track progressive overload for like rear delts, right? Because it's a small muscle, but it's very important that you do if you want to grow. Okay. So track your outreach KPIs every single day that you're in there in the DMs. Okay. Because how can you know if you might be booking a certain amount of calls and you might feel like you're working way harder than what it's producing. But when you see the numbers, more often than not, you're like, oh, wait, I guess I did take, I was sick Wednesday through Friday, so I didn't work that week. I was on vacation the next week. This was our anniversary. This was my girlfriend's birthday. So like, you might actually not be working as much as you think. And the result that you're getting might actually make sense for the amount of effort and the KPIs that are actually being hit. I don't know if that's the case or not, but a lot of times it is. So do a productivity audit for at least 1 week and determine, are you actually hitting your numbers every day? Number 2, upgrade your technology. If you can automate it or format it in a way that's easier to follow, do it. My suggestion is to get a CRM that is capable of this. By the way, if you're interested, we do have one completely built out for Fit Pros, 5 years worth of follow-up campaigns for people who have not bought from you. Not to mention all the pipeline management, the structuring, the forecasting, everything. Having a CRM is a game changer. Okay, an absolute game changer. If you're still on Google Sheets or Monday.com, you've got. I was there. Life is so much better when you have a CRM with real automations. Okay, so DM me CRM if you want to know a little bit more. I can actually drop a video on our CRM with price and everything there. Okay, now here's where I struggled with it. Right. And I'm saying everything because it's things that I've dealt with for a long time. I thought C4F was as clean and efficient as humanly possible. What I would tell people is we're a Tesla engine. There's no fumes, there's no nothing. We are just clean. We're cruising. Okay. And then we weren't. And that was frustrating because I was like, well, why? We're so efficient. We're closing at a high rate. Everyone's showing, we're hitting our follow-ups. And so I hired a mentor who completely picked my business apart. It's because I only had my perspective and the perspective of other mentors. But like, that's why you should always be seeking new perspectives from new mentors who are obviously highly qualified. Do your research, because what I thought was exactly what I needed, what I thought was exactly what I should have been doing, I compared my systems. He literally blew me out of the water completely. He's like, are you tracking this? Tracking this? Gave me a whole tracker sheet. And I'm like, no. I mean, I was tracking, yes, in a way, but not that detailed. And then he asked about follow-ups and re-engaging the pipeline and working a pipeline. There's a difference between having a pipeline and knowing how to work a pipeline to get the most out of it, to keep people engaged and stay in front of them and keep them wanting to at least explore the idea of signing up with you at some point, right? Working a pipeline. Once we put all this together, and I had a CRM too, and I thought I had these things, but it was like the elementary version of what I could have been. Okay, so what I thought was a great system, what I thought didn't need any improvement at all, turned out to be the reason why we stopped growing for a short period of time. So it helps a ton to see what other people are doing. And shameless plug, online coaching space, guys, is just it's a rough spot right now. So like I said, do your research before you just go and try to get anyone's perspective. Now, I'm biased here and I'm excited, and I haven't even announced this yet. I've been teasing you guys about this for a little while. So my podcast listeners, this is what I told you to stick around for. You guys are going to get a special offer. We are doing something that we've never done before. I'm just going to be fully transparent with you. We talk to so many fit pros every day, and probably 80% of them are not doing well financially. They're typically in debt to other coaches. And when I ask about what they got in terms of like value and like what they actually paid for, it doesn't sound very good. Okay. And I'm not calling anybody out in this space, but what I am saying is there is a real problem going on in the high ticket space where people are charging up here because of name and reputation, and then they're delivering things down here. They really haven't changed anything for years and years. And then you guys are left to front the bill. And it makes me sick. And over the last few months, it's been a trend that I see more and more and more. And it's not even just our space, by the way. It's not even just fitness. I network with so many people in dozens, if not multiple dozens of industries, and it's everywhere. The high ticket space, I think, got very bloated for a little while where, again, this was happening. You built the name, you help people get early results, you don't change anything, and then all the new people come in and they don't see the same results or get the same amount of attention from the mentor. All that to say, that factored in to what we created, which is C4F University, okay? We're no longer charging up top for your one-to-ones that you may or may not use, or you may or may not need if you're getting a lot of traction or you're getting what you need from like the group calls or the Slack channel. So what we're doing now is we're charging a low monthly fee, and then you pay for one-to-ones as you need them, if you need them. So we're not charging, up here to see if you use them. We're going to charge down here, and as you need to use them, you can. I'm a big fan of the concept of this model. I don't like people being in debt to me or to anyone else. I don't want to be the reason that people can't pay bills or can't put food on the table for their family. I am here to help you in every possible way that I can. And that's how we're going to do it with this new structure. So again, on top of that, by the way, you can cancel whenever. Now it's just like canceling whenever with fitness. If you cancel month 1 or 2, you might have the routine and then you may fall off. Okay. You're going to get the best results 6 months and beyond. I mean, it's no different than fitness, because every time you level up, you're going to find something new that you could be working on. And we have a lot of advanced levels. So no matter where you're coming in, whether it's $2K per month, $10K, or $100K, we have something for you. We've worked with the entire spectrum of coaches. Okay. You can be at 0 too. It works perfectly fine for that. My recommendation, stay in it for a little while, but you don't have to. You don't have to if you don't see results. I want to earn your trust as we work together. Okay. And the next best part, aside from the cancel whenever, is the 7-day trial for $1 to work with us. If you've ever thought about working with C4F, ever even considered, you've seen my content, you've listened to the podcast, you're listening to this point, if you've even considered, spend $1, come in for 7 days, hop on some of our group calls, go through the content. I am so freaking confident that you're going to be blown away by what we do, how we deliver it, kind of what we stand for. And if you're not, then cancel. You spend $1. You're not going to hurt my feelings. So that is my special offer. If you want to learn more about this, DM me on any social media and just say podcast. Let me know that you heard it on episode 60, and then we can look into seeing if this would be a good fit. And by the way, I don't care if it's $1 or not. I'm not going to sell you anything if it doesn't make sense for what you're really trying to do. Over and out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Happy Monday, and crush it this week.